What is a cheap thing you own that you've gotten years of use out of? I purchased a cheap surround sound system from Walmart more than 25 years ago. It's their Durabron home theater system. Purchased to use in my garage because it was cheap, $30. I don't have the original small speakers, replaced them with Bose speakers out of an old Mercedes, but the sub-bass unit still works wonderfully. Even the remote works. It does a great job. I used to have a headphone jack connected to it but upgraded to a Bluetooth receiver I got from another system a guy was giving away. Lol. I stream Tidal and Sirius on it whenever I'm out in the garage. Found a free mech backpack at my brother's apartment complex donation shelf when I was 12 or 13. 20 years of use. 10 countries. Dozens of hikes. 3 apartments. 2 houses. 4 dogs. 5 relationships. You get the picture. Once tripped across a classmate a couple years ago who had the same exact backpack. His had much less use. Mine was the exact same, except mine was slightly more sunbleached on the parts that were navy blue. Still have it. Still no holes. Only ever had to replace the bungee cord that crisscrosses the front. When my sister was born, we got a Gerber nail cutter. It was super small and sharp, and me, 10 at the time, found it amazing to cut my own nails. I took it and still to this day only use it to cut my nails. That thing is still sharp as ever. It graduated with me, went to college, marriage, and now has cut the nails of both my kids. It's now 30 years old. The Gerber name fell off years ago, but I refuse to cut my nails with anything else. It feels wrong. A leather suitcase I got to keep after my dad picked up another truck driver and brought him home like a puppy. The guy's truck had broken down, so my dad helped him out. They went out for a beer. The guy stepped out, and we never saw him again. Left his stuff at our place. Had his easy top CD, that leather suitcase, and some heroin we turned into the police. I wonder what became of him. The suitcase is nice and I've had it for about 15 years now. I have this one top from Forever 21. I got it back in 2014 when Forever 21 as a brand was launched on a shopping app, and they had a sale. And it was really cheap in my currency. Like extremely cheap, and I still wear it to this day. Actually one of my favorite items of clothing. Very versatile and fits me so well. It's going to be 10 years old this November and has one small hole in the underarm area, but I've fixed it. I've been using the same pair of Bluetooth earbuds in the gym for 11 years. They're a knockoff brand that normally costs $30, but that I got for free. I have about 8 such pairs so that when one breaks, I don't miss a beat. But I've never had to go into my stash because this pair won't die. I've beat the hell out of them, sweated all over them, and they're still working great. I bought a denim backpack at Kmart in 1990. I was in 10th grade. That backpack was still in good condition, and my youngest daughter was born in 2006. I used it for my backup diaper bag. I used it for various things right on up until 2015. One of the straps finally tore and the other was getting weak. It couldn't be mended. I hated to toss it out, but it was unusable. Got a $20 Timex watch in 1st grade that lasted 22 years. And the only reason I replaced it was because I lost the screw for the retaining clip when replacing the battery. It probably still works. Got another cheap Timex to replace it, and I've had it for 12 years now. Cracked the screen the other day, but it still works fine. I'll probably keep it until it dies. I have a Sony headphone to a CA cable that my dad bought me to hook up my first Discman circa 2000 to my stereo that I've been using every single day for the last 24 years. Also, my Contigo travel mug, as far as I can tell. It keeps my coffee hit just as well as my Yeti, but the lid actually snaps shut, and I'm a clumsy MF, so that's a game changer. I bought a bedspread set about 30 years ago at Big Lots. It came in a tote bag made from the same fabric. The bedspread and pillowcase are long gone, but the tote bag is still around. I use it for a weekender bag to carry crocheting around when I'm in the throes of an Afghan making binge, or whenever I need a large bag to carry things around in. First one that came to mind is my trusty old Stanley tape measure. I bought it 25 years ago, en route to a job site because I realized I'd forgotten to grab one from the factory when loading. At that morning, $8. It's been on every job and every major project with me for over half my life. It would have measured thousands of kilometers in that time. When you have a baby, the hospital sends you home with lots of little stuff. One of those things in our bag was a little blue plastic bowl. I don't know who started using it near the kitchen sink one day to make soapy dishwater, but it's been next to our sink getting daily use every day for the last 21 years. I can't get myself to toss it. Bought a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor for dirt cheap because it was running poorly but low mileage, low hours, etc. Changed the ignition coils and spark plugs for like $300. Fucking amazing car. So much power. So reliable. Also looks like a ghost car, so everyone drives cautiously and respectfully around me. Perfect. Those reusable grocery store bags. We got some fairly high quality ones a few years ago, and they come in handy a lot. I use them multiple times a week for various things. Currently I'm moving about a mile down the road. They're very, very good for moving awkwardly shaped things that will take up a lot of space in a box. I bought a hot air popcorn maker in 1988 when I first got my own apartment. It was $14.99, which I know because the price sticker is still on the box. It works as well as ever. It's such a simple design. It doesn't even have an on-off switch. You just plug it in and it starts, and you pull the plug to stop it. I switched a lot of my single-use plastics to reusable. Plastic razors to a safety razor, tampons to the cup, plastic wrap to beeswax, Ziploc bags to just using empty jars for food storage, sponge to a silicone scrubby. I've gotten years out of all these things and it's cheaper and simplifies my life. 6 Chevy Impala for $1,900, maybe another grand for repairs, tires, brakes, oil changes, etc. that wear out. On year 10 as a work car. My dryer, it's from 1996. Still can't put on high, or I'll have baby clothes lol. Tools on my tool belt for work. Summer, 18 years old. My oldest shirt says 1990 on it. Google Nexus 7 2013. I absolutely didn't expect this budget price tablet to last for over 10 years, but here we are. Sure, it's chipped and battered and touch screen sometimes fails to respond and the screen is yellowed on one side, but it's still my go-to device for books and YouTube. My mother bought me a Samsung microwave, not top of the line, just one for a person in an apartment when I moved out. 24 years later it is still running. It is still used because my wife replaced the microwave above the stove in our house with an exhaust fan. I bought a pair of $5 wireless earbuds from Five Below 6 years ago so I could listen to audiobooks at work without messing up my nice ones. I was just replacing the last scrap ones I had, and saw a new brand on the shelf. I'm using them right now. A can opener I bought for college. It was $1 from Walmart. Works better and smoother than any of the fancier ones and is still going strong after all these years. I have family that has jokingly tried to steal it from me because it still works so well. Bought a knockoff Ridge wallet for $16 off Amazon just before COVID. Has the same RFID protection and money clip which usually costs extra. Has 0 signs of wear at all including the elastic and could see myself using it another 10 years. TBH. I don't know if you'd classify it as cheap, but I've got a Wenger Swiss Army knife that I bought 10 or so years ago for like $30 that I get all kinds of use out of. I've lost the little plastic toothpick, but it's otherwise in great shape. An old friend of mine made me a back scratcher out of a paint stirrer and a beer bottle cap. It's the best back scratcher I've ever used. He's been gone over a decade and I still use the thing damn near every day. Thanks, Bob. I had the same alarm clock from 1989 to 2015. I finally got rid of it because the time can't be dimmed and I've grown to like an absolutely blackout room. Plus, yeah, no. Cell phones do the same job. I think it cost under $10. I have been repping the same belt since high school. It has been my daily driver for the better part of 20 years. And the best part is it was attached as a freebie to a pair of shorts that were already on sale at Kohl's. I bought a Kermit green fleece for hiking in 2009. I still have the thing. It was washed a bunch of times and I'm wearing it constantly. It's still soft and complete. Didn't get scruffy. The zipper still works. I got rid of my Samsung Fold, found my daughter's old Samsung S9 in a drawer. Still going strong well over a year later. She thought it was hilarious I'm using her old mobile, it's got TikTok screen burn too. When I moved into my first apartment in college, I got a cheap plastic toaster from Walmart. Think it might have been $10, nothing fancy. Just the dial and the lever. It's still with me decades later. One time I got a suitcase from the thrift store for $15. When I got home, there were 3 more cases and bags inside of it. Best $15 I've ever spent. They've lasted me 4 years. $40 Bluetooth earbuds from eBay. They recently died after 3 or so years of service. I mostly listen to audiobooks in the so I don't need expensive ones, and TBH music sounds great in them anyway. I bought a cheap backpack for just day-to-day use. Cost me £25. It's lasted 15 years of daily use as well as visiting as many countries as I have in those 15 years. It's still holding up perfectly. Seiko automatic diver's watch on sale for $150 in 2000 for ... I have worn it constantly for 20 years. No maintenance. No battery. Wear it swimming, diving, shower. No problem. Absolutely bomb-proof. A pair of basic winter gloves. I bought them at Walmart. No idea what brand they are, but they're amazing for light winter weather. Very well made. Don't know what I'll do when they wear out.